This is the Sarasota Technology User Group and the Central Florida Computer Society Windows Special Interest Group, or WinSIG, for Sunday, May 14th, 2023. I'm Huey Poplock. Welcome on this Mother's Day in May, and a beautiful day here in Florida, and I hope it is where you are as well. And we're going to say hello to everybody that's here today. Thanks for coming. This is the Windows Special Interest Group. We cover many things, and I always start the meeting from my list, which was posted actually about a week and a half ago, because I was trying to get it done early, didn't get it done early enough to have the information in the newsletter for the STUG meeting. So I have next month's STUG meeting in the newsletter. If you don't subscribe to our newsletter, please go to huey.net and make sure you sign up for that, because it does give you some information. I am going to have to change something in the newsletter. For some reason, not everyone, but a lot of you think that you have to re-register for each meeting. You do not. Once you're registered and you've signed into one of these meetings, you're on the list. You don't have to re-register each meeting. So some of you, thank you for doing it, but you don't have to. You're here, and then I send out a reminder, usually the day of or the day before the meeting, so you can be reminded of your unique link to get on the meeting. But I've been finding myself using Edge more and more, and in one of the articles, we're going to go through some of the things that are new in Edge. Let's get to another page here and bring up huey.net, which is the website and the home of this SIG. So I go to the WinSIG, and there are the items for today. I post them usually sometime about a week before, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little bit more. Sometimes I add to them. There were some things I was going to add, but I said, well, there's enough on the list. We probably won't get through the list, all of the list anyway. So we'll leave them till next time. I do want to show you, here is April's list. And then right under April's list is a link to the recording of the meeting. So the recording to this meeting will be posted just below these in the next couple of days. So let's take a look at these articles that I have picked out. These are articles that I have discovered since our last meeting a month ago. And some of them, there's even more information out there that we can take a look at. But let's first go to Microsoft is finished with big updates for Windows 10. And I know a lot of you are still on Windows 10. Now let's go to the immersive reader, which is right here, so we can see a nice big version of it, cut out the ads, and go from there. So Microsoft has announced that Windows 10 will receive no more feature updates. This means that Windows 10 22H2 is the last version of the operating system. Now, they're still supporting it, they're still updating it, but there's not going to be a major feature update to Windows 10. So if you haven't gone to Windows 11 yet, you might want to think about it. And if your computer doesn't run it, it's probably time to start shopping anyway for a new computer. And when there's a good sale on, to go ahead and do that. If you don't want to, you'll have till 2025 that Windows 10 will be supported. And the 2022 H2 feature update was made available back in October, and it will continue to receive security updates for some time. Microsoft is keen for people to move on, however, saying, we highly encourage you to transition to Windows 11 now, and there won't be any additional Windows 10 feature updates. That's feature updates, but the security updates, but also when they do those kind of updates, you're going to see a lot of push for you to go to Windows 11. The other thing that I read an article this week, and it's not in this list, but the Windows 10 20H2, which came out last October. If you're still using Windows 10 21H2, or earlier, it's going to automatically update you to the 20H2 sometime in the near future. And when it does, it also will be telling you that you need to think about going to Windows 11. But it is going to do that automatically somewhere down the road. So you might want to make sure you're all backed up and just do it manually and have it done. Let's see if there's anything else in this article. I don't think so. So let's go to the next article. And you know what I didn't do is take those whole lists. So we'll just have to keep going back to the beginning here. And a Microsoft Edge feature and tips. As I mentioned a little bit earlier in our pre-program discussions, I'm starting to use Edge more and more. I really like it. And I'm going to show you a few of the features that I like about it. The Edge, I don't know if you'll notice, but my Edge has like a yellow back, border around it. If I open up Chrome, I have the blue, and I do that purposely so I can tell which one I'm using. It's a good idea to try to make that distinction, because sometimes before I did that, I didn't know which program I was in, because they are quite a bit alike. And for that reason, I had some issues. So now I do it this way. And so I know that I'm in Microsoft Edge. Now they have, this is a page on the features and tips. That's what this link takes you to. But of course, they introduced the new Bing and your AI Power Copilot for the web. I'm going to show you that, and your AI powered browser. So we're going to look at some of the features of that. And there's some more things, built-in learning and accessibility tools and so on. So there's quite a bit in Edge that I really like. And one of the items that I like, of course, is the AI and Bing, which is, Bing has been their search engine, but they're now using AI with it. Now, how do you get to it? Well, there's a good way of doing it. Just let's open up. By the way, before I do that, I'm trying to get rid of all the politics and all the junk that I really don't want to have when it brings up MSN. And by the way, how I'm doing that is I'm coming up here to the to the three. Come on, definitely don't want that article. I go to this button here, and I want to hide stories from this source. When I do it, I no longer see anything from that source. So I've gotten rid of the CNN and the MSNBC and the Fox and all of the other ones. And so now I'm trying to keep it so it's entertainment, technology, and business. And that's it on this page when I click on it or go to it by mistake. So I'm trying to get rid of all the political stuff. I really don't care about it. And I certainly don't want it when I'm trying to find something or do something. So anyways, that's one thing about Edge that I like, that I can see what news is there, but I can get rid of things that I don't want, although it is an effort. The other thing is the fact that when you want to go to Bing, you can just go like this and go to Bing.com. And if you do that, you're probably going to be in this screen, which is an AI type of screen, but you can ask it anything. But you can also go to the true AI section of it by just coming here to try it, and it takes you to this screen, which happens to be my opening screen or home screen when I do open up Bing. And this is the new Bing with the, it actually started a suggestion. I must have clicked on something. But you'll see also that I can go back to just plain old search. and it's there. And then if I want to go to the chat, I can click on chat and be back to this screen. So, but let's say we're in the search and we've been looking at something. One of the things that I really like, another thing I like about Bing is if you come up here to this B and you click on it, or actually just hold your mouse over it, it brings up the AI over on the side panel. And you can have several things in the side panel, but you can leave that up while you're looking at other things. So let's say we want to search for something here. Let's, I don't know, what should we look for? I can never think of a title of something I want to look for when I need to come up with something. So let's, places, with good pizza. Okay, in your normal search, you would get things like this, whether you're doing it in Google or you do it in Bing. What Bing is starting out to do is they test it out, and so they talk a little bit about here, but this is still open here. So if I want to, I can ask something here about pizza, and it will give me information, and then I can go to the links over on this side and not have to go back and forth, which I really like. Now, they also have a side panel in Edge. So you can have things here that you can look at. This is the Microsoft 365 Outlook image creation, and we'll look at that in just a minute. Or you can customize and you can add something. So we want to add, you can add a current page, you can add, let's say, Facebook or something else. Let's see if we can, let's see, I don't know if I want to, show more. That's where I might have it. You can add some of these other things as well. And if I say Notepad, I don't know whether I can do this or not. Let's see. No, it doesn't find it. Okay, I was hoping I could add Notepad to it. I might be able to. Down here under Manage, you can put a lot of things in and add items. Yeah, these are the things you can add. And you can turn them on or off. And then we can come just back up to here to the Bing, and we've got our AI on the right. And then if we want to open up, let's say, Outlook, we could have Outlook or Word in this panel. So if I opened up Word by clicking here, kind of a long way around sometimes, but it's going to open up my online version of Word. And then I can bring this back to Bing. And so now I can have a new document open, and then I can say, let's see here. Okay. What just opened up? Continue to Word. Okay. So it gives me some hints. So it interrupted me. So there's some things you could do with the online. So, but I was trying to write something in here, and it's not letting me. Why? Choose a conversation style. This should work. Oh, down here. Just have to be in the right place, Huey. And you'll notice one of the things that Microsoft is doing, and I'm seeing it more and more places, but it gives you what it thinks you're going to be writing. So if it says write me a, and that's what I wanted to type, if you hit the tab key, it automatically goes ahead. And then, oh, it has poem because it must have heard me. So I'll click that about, and that's just, I just keep hitting the tab key. And I don't want to say love, I want to say Mother's Day. And so it's going to write a poem about Mother's Day. Okay, now it wants to give me more information here, but. Okay, so it's actually by somebody, didn't write it. But here's a poem from Mother's Day I found on Crosswalk. So it's not an original one, but I can come over here and then paste it into my Word document. So I don't have to be scrambling for which window do I go to, how do I put one thing on top of another and be able to do it. And if I don't want the designer here, I can turn that off, gives me more space here. So by using this panel on the right-hand side, I think it really makes it a lot easier to work with. Now in Windows, you can make a small window to do one thing and a larger window to do something else, but this is all built into Edge, which makes it easy from the beginning. So it's not the poem that I was interested in, is how we got it and how we can save it. So at this, I am going to, so I don't want, I want to just close that. We're going to come back here to where we were, and I'm going to stop the share and see if there's any comments, questions. What do you think of the Edge? Is that something that you were familiar with, and or is this something new that I just showed you that maybe you're going to try Edge and play around with it? Or, Stephanie?
I've been using it, but I didn't know all these different things that we could do about it. So it's been very helpful. But my question is, I have Windows 365 on my computer. Does it have to go to the online version?
I think you can set it up to be whatever you want, either one. I don't know. I've not, I just discovered this morning when I started. I usually go through all of my list, and I got caught in this one, and I didn't get any farther than that. And that was one of the things I did not check. So I don't know. We'll have to play around with it and see. You do have a plus over there, and you can look at the, excuse me, you can look and add Word. I don't know if it has to be the Word online. It probably could be the one on your computer as well.
Thank you.
But I really like the idea of having both on the screen without me having to figure it out, or without having me to decide which one I want where. Any other comments or questions? Well, good. All right, let's continue on by sharing the screen. And the next item, how to enable or disable the fast startup. I'm not sure if you know that there is a fast startup. And so fast startup is a free handy tool that lets you boot. Whoops, come on, I hate this. Doesn't like my, but let's go ahead and do the immersive reader so you can read it better as well. Fast Startup is a free handy tool that lets you boot your Windows operating system more speedily after a shutdown or hibernate. When you have the Fast Startup enabled on your PC, your operating system will help you save the kernel sessions and device drivers right into your hard drive when you shut down your PC. In contrast, when your operating system will have to reload the kernel sessions and device drivers in cases that where you have Fast Startup disabled, let's look how you can enable it. So you may not even know you have Fast Startup turned on, or you may not know you have it turned off. Let's see, I need a couple people have their microphones on, and I'm going to shut them off. Okay. So Microsoft first introduced fast startup with Windows 8. So you might not have even known you had it, as a replacement for Hibernate from Windows 7. Fast startup has since carried on to newer versions of Windows operating and now running in Windows 10 and 11 as well. While fast startup is supported in almost all modern Windows computers, after Windows 8, it might not run in older lower end computers. Moreover, it might not work if you have secure boot disabled or if it doesn't support the necessary hardware. You can easily check if fast startup is supported on your PC when you try to enable it on your PC. So to enable fast startup on your Windows, follow these steps. And I found that I don't like the steps they try to give you. First, they say, start menu, a search bar in the power options. Well, you don't need to go to the power options because then it tells you to from the control panel. Why not just go straight to the control panel? And that's what I did. And then you scroll down to shutdown settings and then turn on. So let's take a look at what I'm talking about. From down here, I can do it from the line at the bottom, or I can open up the search. But either way, I am going to type in power settings. Now you got power here, so let's take a look at what it wants to do here. And then it says, scroll down to the shutdown settings. And so we want to check that. So we got to go back to what I just minimized, which was where'd I put it? Right there. I'm down to power and sleep, power consumption. I got to remember where it was now that I found it. All right, I found it this morning. Power consumption and carbon emissions. Is this it? No, that just is an explanation. Okay, let's see what it tells us. Choose what the power buttons do from the, oh, I know, in the control panel. I went to the wrong place, I think, in the control panel. And we'll do that again. Control panel, there we go. And then we're going to come to the power options. And choose what power buttons do.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the one we got to look at.
Yep.
Right. And down here in the bottom is turn on fast startup. It also, by default, has, on my system, has sleep and lock. And the fast startup recommended, this helps you start your PC faster after shutdown. Restart isn't affected. So if you restart, it doesn't affect it. But if you do a power down, total power down, and then do a shutdown, in other words, and then do a startup by turning it back on, it will do a fast startup. So you might want to check to see if you have that turned on. If you don't, it'll make it a bit faster. And it shows you right here what I just showed you. Fast startup will be enabled and you'll have very fast boot ups from here. But every rose has its thorn. The fast startup isn't much different. While the short time during startups is a boon for Windows users, fast startup can cause problems with specific programs or boot specification like dual booting, delay or failures with instant Windows updates, and generally require more disk usage. So if you're facing problems with Windows Fast Startup, you might have to disable it. And then it tells you, you just go and you uncheck that to disable it. Okay, so we got that done. Next on here, Microsoft Edge brings the right-click menu for smarter web browsing. I find the right mouse click in Edge is much handier than the right mouse click in Chrome. And so this is another thing that's getting me to the point of maybe making Edge my browser of choice or my default browser. So let's go to a website, any website. So let's see if we can find something here that looks interesting. Something technology and not, well, of course, there's nothing in the news, right? That they show. It might be interesting. All right, we're not concerned with what the topic is about, but we're going to look at that there is an article there. And when I go, oh, come on. Just get it into where it's just text on here. And I'm going to right mouse click. And you'll notice you can read aloud. You can translate to English if it's a foreign language. You can add to the page sidebar. So if I like this article, I can add it and it'll go into the sidebar. And you can add the page to collections. You can create collections. You can web select, web capture. You can open and print friendly, which is something I have installed on here. But something else, sometimes there are some other choices here. And I go here, share. Ron, I hope you're still on, because I found that from Edge, if you go to share and then you go to Facebook, you get back to the screen that we used to use all the time that we can't find anymore. Facebook has hid this, and now it's there. So I can say, save to a page you manage. I can then choose a page that I manage, Tech for Senior. I'm not going to paste it. There's not really an article I want to have on there. But if I come down here and say post to Facebook, it automatically will post it to Facebook. So it's all built into Edge, which is something that Facebook used to have and we could get to very easily. Now we have to switch users. We have to do this. We have to do that. And we don't, and it just doesn't work the same way. So I do like the right mouse click on that. And so there are, as I say, in Edge, you've got a lot more choices that you can have, and you can web select, web capture. So let's go back here, go back to our article, which is here. We can just by typing web capture, and then it opens up the capture that's built into Windows. I can say, okay, I want these 2 paragraphs. And then I can copy or markup capture. So I can just, let's see if we want to markup capture. It gives me that. And then I can, it's just probably doing it in white. So I can draw. Yeah, there we go. So you can draw, you can do different things. Is one thing that you can do. And let's just say, okay. Or I can, again, right mouse click, tell it to web capture, highlight this, tell it to copy it. And then over here, I can just paste it in under Ask Me Anything, although it's not anything, but we'll just put it down there. Let's see if it'll paste. No, it's not going to paste it. Okay, so I'm not sure I probably saved it as a JPEG instead of text. But if we want to just copy this and do a copy, and then we can tell it to ask anything, and it will do that. Okay. So two things you can do. One is when I do a copy and just grab it, it's actually making a screenshot, and I can save it as a picture and then post that or give it to somebody or put it in a place where I want to remember that information. Or I can just copy and then paste it into something else. Let's see if there's anything else in here on the right. We can, I don't think I turned on, so you weren't going to be able to hear the audio, and I don't see if it's even on here. Yeah, read aloud. You probably aren't going to be able to hear it. Were you able to hear that?
No.
Okay, yeah, I didn't turn on. Come on, how do I stop it?
Try escape.
Yeah. No. Oh, up here. There we go. There we go. And let's see if I can turn on the sound from here. I think I can.
Yeah, use the X, the upper up where it says voice options. You can get rid of that.
Yeah, I can turn that off. What I was trying to do is in Zoom to turn on so you could hear. Stop recording live. Share sound. There we go. All right, now I can do it.
Podiatrists who works with thousands of people a year had some grave warnings.
I think you could hear that, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you can see that you can have it read something to you if you want to. All right, so let's go ahead and close that out. So again, with the right mouse click in Edge, there are a lot of things you can do. You can web select, you can web capture, and then of course I have Evernote Clipper and Print Friendly up here. And so it's just putting those in the menu on the right mouse click menu. But if it was a foreign language, you can translate it, as I mentioned. Let's see what else. And you can save it as something else, or you can print the page from here. Okay. And let's close this out. Well, I guess we got to close the page. Yeah. And come back to the WinSIG. Okay, next item on here.
I have a question about.
Okay, a good time. Okay, good. Let's take a break from the video and see the questions.
Oh,
go ahead, John.
Yes, well, it has to do with Edge. I've also been moving from Chrome and Firefox and WaterFox over towards Edge. I like what they've done with it. However, I'm having trouble with some videos. Sometimes I'll click on a video and they just get a circular thing and won't load it. And I have to go to one of the other browsers to make it work. Have you run into that at all?
Well, I haven't used it enough to know, but I have had issues with other browsers with something not opening or something not working right. And so I have in my taskbar at the bottom, I have Edge, Brave, Firefox, and Chrome, all with, and have all of them in my taskbar that I can open up any of them quickly. And so if I'm having trouble in one, I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to figure it out. I'll open another and see if it works. If it does, then I know it's something in Chrome is not working right, and I can go back and revisit it, but I'll finish up what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I have all sorts of browsers available to me, also because of they work differently with different web pages, and I do some web design. Okay, thank you very much.
Sure. Yeah, and that's something that, you know, unlike antivirus programs, browsers, you can have as many as you want and you can have them open. So right now, well, I can show you. Before I do that, let's see if there's anybody else with a question, comment. John, did you still have your hand up? Did you have something more? There we go. Anybody else with any comments, questions? All right, let's go back and let's share my screen. This time I'll remember share the sound. It's on now. Okay, so let me make this so it's not full screened. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so I've got Edge open here. Now let's go open up Chrome. And I have as my homepage in Chrome, the Chrome search engine. You don't have to. I could have anything in here, but I could also have Huey.net. Here, we don't need a picture of me. Okay, and then along with it, let's open up Firefox. And it opens up to Yahoo News, again, with a lot of politics that I don't want to bother with. Let's see where Facebook, they're not Facebook, Firefox go. But we can go here. Let's see, I don't keep those handy. So here's, go to a new one and put in Huey.net. So we got the same thing on all of them. And let's see what else I got on here. I've got Brave. Let's see, Brave. And again, I can go to Huey.net. So then, now I've got all 4 of those open. I can go back and forth and then go to one website. I'm having trouble with it. Let me go to one of the other ones, one of the other browsers, and see if that same issue. And the same issue, hang on a second. If we're having that same issue in it with a different browser, and if not, then I'll use that browser for that particular website or that particular thing that I'm doing. Oh, I know what happened there. Okay. So let me go ahead and close these out now. You know, so what I showed you is you can have them all open at the same time, even on the same web page. So if you're having an issue getting to a website, that's one way you can find out if it's the browser. And if it isn't, if the same problem occurs on all of them, then there's another issue. And one of the things you can do is go to a website called, let's see if I have it on here. And I think it's called, is it me or is it? I got so many things now in these that I can't remember where I put them. But there's a website called Is It Just Me? I think is the name of it. Let's go ahead and say is yeah, this is down for everyone or just me. And then whatever website is you're having trouble with, you put it in. So let's say Huey.net. You'll remember that by the time we finish this, I think. No, it's just you if I was having trouble with it because it is up. So if it was down, then it would tell me it's down, and then I know that it's not me. So that's a good website, down for everyone or just me.com. And I have used that a lot when I go to a website, and for whatever reason it's not there, or I can't get to it, or it gives me an error message. I'll go and I'll click that and it'll check the domain name. It may not, that page might be the problem, but the website is up, or it may be that whole site is down, or for whatever reason, you're not connected to the internet. So let's close up a few of these. And then I'm going to turn this off and come back to the WinSIG. Are we doing on time? All right, we got some time left. We're down to a few items that we've covered. Microsoft announces a single domain for Microsoft 365 apps and services. So what they're going to do, instead of having all these different websites that you go to with different names, they're going to keep it at Microsoft 365. Now, what about somebody that is using live.com? Is their email, or they're using hotmail.com? They'll all still work like they do now. And so whatever one you're using for your email, for instance, it'll still be that, but something new, I think, is going to be Microsoft365.com. So if you see that, that is the reason why they're going to try to have one single domain for Microsoft 365 apps and services. And Microsoft announces the next generation of its AI-powered products. That's about the author. It's been 3 months since Microsoft unveiled the new Bing, an AI-powered chatbot that incorporated the power of GPT-4 into its search engine. This week, the company announced the next step in its journey through the AI revolution. In a blog post, corporate vice president Yusuf Mendy explained 4 new developments in Microsoft's generative AI offerings, ending with the waitlist for Bing AI. So it ended the waitlist. So now you have Bing AI available to you. Everybody does. Enhancing its visual element, adding multimodal support and persistent chats. Oh, what does this mean? Multimodal support. I will say Control C for copy. Then we're going to open up the sidebar and we're going to say, ask me anything. What is multimodal support? Let's full screen this. Down here, what is multimodal support? And tell it, okay, tell me. This is where the AI really comes in handy. So let's come back up here. Multimodal support, and I can't make this bigger, I'm sorry. Multimodal, well, yeah, there's one way I can. I'll highlight it. Copy it, Control C, and I'll open up, and let's see. Yeah, I think in answer to Stephanie's question, let's see, recent Word. I think it's going to open up the online one. Let's open it here. And new document. Takes a few seconds to do these things, but you see that you can have things open on the right, you can have open things on here, and then that's still not up. There we go. And Control V. Tell it we want. This is another thing I like to do. I don't like what it does there. So I want to keep the source formatting. No, I want to paste text only. And there we go. And now we'll change the font. I know this is a long way around, but come on. And we'll change it to 16. So multimodal AI combines the power of multiple inputs to solve complex tasks. In order to solve the tasks, a multimodal AI system needs to associate the same object or concept across different facets of a given media. When the text and images are used together, a multimodal system can predict what the object is in an image. In the context of Bing AI chatbot, enhancing support to Bing AI chat means you won't just get a text answer to your queries anymore. The company is incorporating charts and graphs into AI answers. It's also updating how it formats chat answers and help you find the information you're looking for more quickly. Until now, Bing's AI chat could only have a single conversation session with a user. When they came in for a new discussion, the AI would forget what came before. Now with persistent chat, users can pick up from where they left off, talking to Bing with the chat history. So that's what multimodal AI is. And now we can go back. Somebody's got a question.
Yeah, last week that new version was not available in Canada. Do you know if it's available everywhere now?
I don't know because I'm not in Canada and I can't check. So I am not sure. But you can see where this AI now is really helping with what you do in with AI in whatever you're doing in your searches, but also the fact that you can have with Edge now, you can have your AI to the right and whatever you're working on to the left. And as you come across these things, you can discover them very quickly. For instance, this morning, I was putting together, when I said this morning, I mean about 1 o'clock this morning. Let's go ahead and share the screen again. And over here, let's come back to Bing. And down here, I'm going to say, ask me anything. I'm going to say, how do I now, before where you go into a search engine, whether it be Bing or you went into Chrome and you said, how do I make a column into a row in Excel? It would give you a whole bunch of places you could go and try to find the answer. And you could be searching forever until you get the answer you want. Now, when you type this into Bing, it gives you step by step what you have to do. It was very easy, and boy, as soon as I did it, I was able to take that column, make it into rows and headings on top of a row, and then I could put the items that I wanted under each of the heading. It worked perfect, and so I'm using this more and more in how-tos while I'm in any program, and it generally will give me step by step of what I need to do in order to accomplish something that I want to do, whether it be on the Mac that I'm playing with and trying to learn how to use. I needed to, it told me to do something and I didn't know where to find it. So I said, where is this particular item? And bingo, it came right up and told me. I didn't have to go to a bunch of websites to try to find the answer. And what Bing does also is they do give you, and you saw some numbers in the one that I just showed you, it does tell you some of the websites where it got the information. Okay, let's go ahead and close Bing out, or not Bing, the AI out. Come back here and let's see where we're at here. Well, there's some things about the latest updates. Here's why the new OneDrive is better now. I'm not going to go into that, because we're getting down in time. So Outlook for Windows and Teams will soon open links in Microsoft Edge by default. I don't like that idea. And let's see what it's talking about here. And immersive. Microsoft will soon make the web links from emails in Outlook for Windows app open in Microsoft Edge by default. The company recently announced the change on its Microsoft 365 Admin Center, and it's planning to roll out a similar change to Microsoft Teams as well. I don't use Teams. The software giant claims that this upcoming change is designed to help increase productivity while working online, though the experience in Outlook for Windows will differ depending upon the email sender. Hang on a minute. Web links from Azure AD accounts. Okay, none of us use that probably. Web links from accounts will open an Edge tab without the side-by-side experience, and links that are set to open in a client app or within Outlook for Windows will continue to do so. So what it sounds like is even if you have as your default browser Chrome, when you click on a link in Outlook, it's going to open it up in Edge. And I don't think that's right. And most likely there'll be an uproar on that. And they'll probably have to renege on it. Fortunately, organizations with a Microsoft 365 for Enterprise, no, that's not us. And let's see, even though this upcoming change regarding web links in Outlook for Windows and Microsoft Teams won't affect the default browser setting in Windows, it's hard not to react to Microsoft's heavy-handed approach to push more users to use its Edge browser. Now, I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean if you have Chrome as your default browser, will it still open up Chrome when you click on a link in Outlook? I don't know. We'll have to just see. It sounds like that's what they're saying in this paragraph, but when you read what they're telling us, it's going to open it up in Edge. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. We'll have to figure that out and complain later. So the company previously ruffled some feathers when it made Windows Search and Windows 11 widgets open links in Microsoft Edge by default. And this clearly isn't the best way to make your web browser more popular. So it's a good article for that. And whoops. Come on. And let's see what we got next year. Oh, let's full screen this. And turn on the immersive reader. Windows 11 File Explorer is getting a new details pane. Microsoft is updating File Explorer on Windows 11 piece by piece, starting with the new toolbar in the first release, and more recently with tab navigation. and I don't like the tabs in Windows File Explorer. And now there's another change on the way. Windows 11 Insider Preview is now rolling out to Windows Insider testers on the dev channel, and it includes a brand new details pane in File Explorer. It's still accessible with a keyboard shortcut, Alt-Shift-P, but it now displays information about the recent activity related to files and emails, and share a button with some of those features. So it's Alt-Shift-P. Let's see what happens there. Let's take it out of this. And open up File Explorer. And then Control-Shift-P. No, it doesn't do it now. I guess it's no. It did say Control-Shift-P, correct? Alt-Shift-P. Yep, Alt-Shift-P. All right. One key off. So let's go back to where we were working here, the File Explorer. And Alt-Shift-P. Yeah. And then you get something over here on the side. So if I want to, let's see, click here, it will give me, I wish I could make this bigger for you, and I'm sorry I can't. That's just the way Windows is, but cover Windows. So this tells me what that JPEG is, tells me how big it is, when it was taken, some comments, and the date created and the date modified. So we can take a text file here. It'll give us some information. Here's an Excel spreadsheet, and it talks about some information about it, the content type, again, when it was created, when it was last accessed, what computer it was started on, and when it was created, and then the last time it was saved. So a lot of good information there if that's something that you want to have in your File Explorer. So no matter where you go, let's go to Documents, and okay, with just one here I have. So no matter where you go, it's changing that information. And so if I go to a PowerPoint, it gives me information about that PowerPoint. If I want to look at a picture, it gives me information about that picture. And if I want to look at a photograph, let's see if I can find a photograph here somewhere. There we go. And so on. So you can get a lot of information and have it available to you in Windows Explorer at all times if you want. So it's I think is a pretty good thing, but apparently you're going to be able to, according to this article, is we're going to be able to said in the blog post, whenever you access it, you don't have to turn it on. It will be there. See, brand new details pane. It will be there. You can turn it off, but it will be more readily available to you, and you'll remember to have it and use it. Okay. And oh, Microsoft Lists. I'm going to take it out of screen capture here for a moment. Does anyone here use or have used or know what Microsoft Lists are? I don't see anybody raising their hand. Maybe they're not. Maybe everybody went to sleep. I don't know. But anyway, it was something I was not familiar with. So let's go back and whoops. Share my screen again. And let's find out about what Microsoft's lists are. Again, let's turn on the immersive. Microsoft Lists just got a massive update. Okay. Oh, I wonder what it is. And that's the writer. Oh, Microsoft Lists, a solid alternative to Asana and Trello for anyone in the Microsoft 365 ecosystem. Now it's getting even better with the introduction of new features and a few changes. For starters, the biggest improvement in Microsoft is touting here is related to the speed of the platform. The app and the web version load and do actions in half of the time as before. And Microsoft also added a series of UI, user interface, and UX optimizations to speed up your workflow even further. These include filter pills, easy access to form management, and easy data editing. So this is what it looks like. You can set up calendars. There's also a new week layout for the calendar view. There's also improvements made to mobile apps as well. So let's go back over to Bing. And what is or what are, I think. Well, let's see what Microsoft lists are according to Bing. Beryl, when I see your hand is up, I'll be right with you. Okay, Microsoft Lists is an app that helps you track information and organize work. It's a simple, smart, and flexible app that allows you to stay on top of what matters most. You can share your lists with your team members and people who you've provided access to. You'll find a number of ready-to-use list templates to provide a good starting point for organizing list items. So it's not quite the same as Evernote or Notes, but it sounds like it's something similar to that, but it's where you can work in groups of people. But that's something that if you're interested, maybe we can examine it. I don't think it's anything I would use, but the Microsoft lists. So let's just, for the heck of it, take a look here, and we'll close this up. And we don't want to search the web. Yeah, we can do that. Microsoft list. It's under Azure Microsoft list. There we go. Track information, organize work, and customize your team. So it sounds like it's more for people that are working in groups. Yeah, switch to the United States English. There we go. Create, share, and track lists with anyone. So that's what it is. It's something I had never heard of before, and I probably would never use it. So not knowing about it didn't hurt me. But you can have lists of things, and for your own use, you could make a list and then keep track of whether you're doing it, it's in progress, it's blocked, it's completed, and so on. So if you've got a use for it, you might want to take a look at Microsoft Lists. And we're getting down towards the end, so let's go ahead and stop the share. Somebody had their hand up. Marilyn, was it?
Yes.
Okay, what's up?
Back on the Outlook, I'm not sure when this happens to me, but I'll right click, I think maybe on a web page perhaps, and it'll say, give me a list of things, and I'll hit share. And so then the email pops up, but it's in Outlook, and I don't have Outlook. So is there a way to change that default from Outlook to like Gmail or some other?
So if you're on a web page and you right mouse click and one of them is share. You only have Outlook?
Yeah, the email comes up as an Outlook email, and I don't have it. I don't have Outlook, so I can't send it.
Well,
And it seems
the-
like there'd be a way to change that.
well, you probably do the online one, but let's see what we can do here. So if you don't have Outlook, but you're on a web page, so let's go to a web page. Come on, you hit share. Okay, we're on this page and we want to share something here. So you go to share
Mm-hmm.
and then you pick email, right? Well, what do you use for email?
Gmail.
Well, right here is Gmail.
Well, for some reason, it doesn't give me a choice. It just comes up as a Outlook, you know, where you put to and from in kind of thing. And I can't send it because I don't have Outlook.
Okay, default mail app. See, are you on 10 or 11?
I'm on 10.
That might be the reason I don't see, we aren't seeing the same things.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know that for a fact, but if I hit share,
Yeah, it would be nice if I had that choice, but I don't.
yeah, because you got Outlook, Gmail, or your default mail app.
Okay,
Um,
well, I'll look forward to having that when I change.
Yeah, or check and just make sure you've got 22H2 as your most recent Windows 10 version.
Okay, thank you.
That might be another way around it. Anybody else with questions? We've got about 5 minutes. Doesn't have to be on anything we've covered. It can be another Windows item or something general. All right, let me show you something here. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. Let's see. I want to share. Okay, we're back here. I am going to close this and open up Chrome because I don't have this in this. Whoops. Close all and close this. There we go. And I want to close this just so I don't have a lot of extra things. I'm going to open up Chrome now because I have different shortcuts in Chrome. So I have been doing a lot with AI. And so I've had to take my AI shortcuts and bookmarks, I should say, and divide them into 3 different folders. So these are the ones that I have tried, I have registered, and I've played with. These are all just AI, either ask and get information or to go from text to speech or text to song, whatever. But it's all AI. These are all AI websites that I have checked out. Then here are ones that I haven't. I got to move my camera. It's right on top of it. I call it AI Try. That these are ones I haven't checked out yet that I want to check out, or we're still on a waiting list type of thing. And then AI Tools, I've taken some of the tools that I have and I've put them over here in another one. I'm probably going to have to take the AI and divide it into a couple of groups. But when you have a long list like this, there's a couple of things you can do, and I need to do this. So let me show you what I mean. I am, whoops, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to Bookmarks and Bookmark Manager. I'm going to open up my Bookmark Manager. And these are all my bookmarks, or like here is the AI. I'll double click that. When I do, there are all the ones in that list. And so what I want to do is I'm going to right mouse click Is it right mouse click where I do this? No, I think it's over here. Now I got to remember. And it's a sort by name. So right now you can see that some of it's alphabetical, but I've added a bunch farther down that are not alphabetical. And it's getting so many that I can't find them. So what I'm going to do is click here and sort by name, and they're now all alphabetical in that list. I can't go back, but I can from here move them around. Let's see, no, from here I can take one and move it up one, and then move it back down if I want. So you can still move them around, but they are alphabetized. And then you can take any one of them. You can delete it, you can edit it, cut it, copy, paste, open in a new tab, open in a new window, and open incognito. So having your bookmarks is not just having a bookmark up here or a list of bookmarks. You can go into the manage one and you can do a lot with them. And so any one of these you can click on and then go to. So I wanted to show you that about bookmarks because I'm using bookmarks more and more because there's more and more things that I'm going to look at. John, you have your hand up.
I do. What I've been using recently is in the Edge browser, there's something called groups. So you can set up a group just for AI, for example, and that works very well.
Yes, and that is an advantage in Edge is you can have groups set up and just click it and does it open the whole group or it just takes you to that group and you pick and choose the one you want?
It then displays the entire group on the bar over there horizontally.
Okay.
And then choose the one you want. Now, maybe if you have too many, it might be a problem. You'd have to scroll back and forth. But if they're in alphabetic, I guess you could do that. It's a different way of doing it.
Yep. Yep. Good. Thanks. Steve?
Yeah, have you tried using AI to do Wordle?
There probably is. I don't know. I don't do Wordle. So I didn't at one time, but
Yeah.
I'm spending too much time on these AI on the AI stuff. I've got the list up to about 10 or 12 newsletters that are almost daily. And each one, there's always something new in there. So to read each email, it's generally close to an hour. And they're every day, and I got about 10 of them. So it's amazing. All the new and updated stuff that's coming out in AI that's available for AI. So I'm sure you can do a search in AI for Wordle, and there's probably something you'll find. Okay, it's 2:46 Eastern time. We've used up our time.